How's it going, folks? And greetings from a hill just outside Charters Towers in northern Queensland, which is currently being obscured by smoke due to a planned burn at the foot of the hill. Makes for a pretty interesting view though, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm about an hour and a half out of Townsville at the moment, and I'm living here. Well, at least I have been for the last 2 weeks, and I will be for this week, and then I will be returning to Townsville, working a short-term contract up here. And I know what you're all thinking, Jesus, he's moved again? Huh? Anyway, this kind of neatly brings me up to the topic of today's video, which was set by the excellent UK-based moto vlogger Hippodrones. Check him out, link in the description. Anyway, he posted in a Facebook group that I'm a member of called Challenge Accepted, which is where we all, you know, moto vloggers like myself, we set each other different topics and challenges to do in our vlogs. Anyway, his topic was, why is home home? And with me, it's kind of a long question. So I'll tell yous. And we'll get in some of the sights of Charters Towers, Queensland while we're at it. Okay, we'll get moving so. Okay, no foot down, no foot down, no foot down. Yes! Smashed it! Right, so as I'm going down this rather steep hill, I suppose I'll answer the first question, and that is, where is my hometown? Well, if anyone asks me that, I will say that it's Ennis, County Clare in the west of Ireland, as that is the town I have spent most of my life in, and it's where all my family live, still have loads of my friends there, so Ennis, I guess, is home. Beautiful little town in the west of Ireland, and if you are ever in County Clare or nearby, you should totally go visit it. It's a gorgeous little town. Those of you who are watching this and are Irish will probably have noticed by now that I do not have a Clare accent, and you would be completely correct in that assumption. I was born actually in Naas, County Kildare. For those of you who don't know Naas, it's a little town about 20 miles / 30 kilometres outside of Dublin. Ooh, Jesus, there's a lot of loose gravel here. Right. Anyway, and I lived there until I was 8, and for some weird reason I've never really lost the Kildare accent, even if it has been somewhat diluted over the years. So yeah, that explains my somewhat incongruent accent. Anyway, when I was about 21, I applied to Galway Mayo Institute of Technology to do mental health nursing, and as a result of being accepted into that course, I moved to Castlebar in County Mayo, and I spent 6 years there, mainly because I was an absolute little bollocks when I was in my early 20s, and due to the amount of drinking and carrying on I was doing back then, I ended up taking 6 years to complete my 4-year nursing degree. Yeah, I was a bit of a handful in my early 20s, definitely. Thankfully, I have grown up quite significantly since then, although, you know, there was a pretty low starting point to begin with there, wasn't there? Anyway, so after finishing my degree, eventually I moved back to Ennis. And I was working in Ennis for about 9 months after I finished my degree, and had one of those, what in the name of God am I doing with my life? I do not want to stay here forever moments. So then I moved to Australia. See, there's 2 really fun corners here, and they're just being ruined by some nana in a 1-litre Suzuki Alto. Hang on. We can still get a good bit of a lean on there. There you go, buddy. Anyway, we're going to take a spin about 15 k's out of Charters Towers to the weir on the Burdekin River, which is well worth a look. So anyway, I came to Australia in 2009, April the 29th to be exact. And my first port of call here was Perth in Western Australia. Lovely city, Perth, and I was working in a big hospital there, and I was supposed to be getting sponsorship from my employer, except due to the fact that they had overhired while I was there, they couldn't actually give me sponsorship. I did actually come out to Australia on a backpacker's visa, and it was, I'd say I was only here, I'd say a week, when it was just in my head, I'm staying here, this place is bloody great. And it totally is great. So I ended up going to Melbourne after about 6 months in Perth. I just packed my car up, and myself and a friend of mine drove the whole way across the country to go to Melbourne. It only took about 6 days, I think it did. Yeah, it was quite a long drive. Also, I'm completely gone the wrong way here, so I'm going to have to chuck a U-ey. It's nice when you don't know where the hell you're going, isn't it? And look at all this pissing gravel. Right. Nothing coming, nothing coming. Still nothing coming. And we're off the gravel. Right. So, moved to Melbourne in about, I think it was late September, early October 2009. And I ended up staying in Melbourne for the next 5 years. A city I still absolutely love. It is my favourite city in the world. Brilliant place. You all should totally get out there at least once in your life. And I'm going to be controversial here and say it absolutely pisses on Sydney. It's just better. Sorry, Sydney, but it is. But after 5 years in Melbourne, I think the long commutes to work and the stress of city living was starting to get to me somewhat. So I decided I'm going to go to the outback. And that's exactly what I did. I ended up taking a contract in Tennant Creek, and for those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time, you'll know that I was working up there again about 6 or so months ago, and there are a number of videos I made while I was up there. I think it's a really interesting place, and they're well worth a watch if you are so inclined. Yeah, this is the turn I need. Weir Park 12. I was out here yesterday with the dogs. It is a really nice road. Unfortunately, there's a load of cows along it and it's not fenced. So we'll have to take it somewhat handy here. I really do not trust this road surface. Some Australian roads can be very coarse chip bitumen, such as this one. And that means that acting the bollocks on a motorbike will end quite badly for you if you aren't careful on them. Right, so back to the story. So I took the contract in Tennant Creek, and things didn't go entirely well for me there. I loved the job I had up there, but good God, the town was, I'd call it a godforsaken shithole, but I'm being a little hard on godforsaken shitholes there. It's really something else. And the first day I actually worked there, while I was at work, somebody actually nicked my dog. Thankfully I got him back. So I saw my 3-month contract up in Tennant, and then returned to Melbourne. And I took a job in Melbourne, which I ended up absolutely hating. And after 6 months back in Melbourne, I was off up to the Territory again. So I moved up to Alice Springs and was planning on staying there 6 months. I was actually intending on returning to Ireland after 6 months there, but I changed my mind, mainly because, well, I suppose the life I have in Australia, it's very, very, very good, and probably far too good for me to be giving up. And oh God, look at this shit. Ooh. Ooh, God, I think I got a wheel up there. Anyway, things in Australia are so unbelievably good for me. My life is so easy, and I am one extremely lucky boy to be able to have the opportunities that I've had in my life and to live the life that I've led. You know, nobody's life is perfect, and you know, I've had my challenges and stuff over the years, but I'm certainly not going to complain about my life overall, because let's face it, it's pretty goddamn sweet, isn't it? So I ended up staying in Alice for the best part of the next 3 years, and I really enjoyed it there. Although Alice, it's a small town, only about 30,000 people, and after about two and a half years, there was sort of nothing else for me to see there. I'd done everything. You know, there's only so many times you can go down to Uluru. There's only really 4 paved roads out of town, meaning that whenever I wanted to ride my bike, it was a case of, so which of the 4 roads will I take today? And you get sick of doing the same stuff all the time, don't you? So after 3 years there all up, save for a 4-month stint when I just went down and lived in Sydney for a while, mainly because I'd never really explored there much, and I had a great time down in Sydney and met some awesome people down there. I'm still in contact with quite a lot of them, which is absolutely great, but Sydney, it's too big, it's too manic, and it's I found everything there to be very frantic and often quite aggressive, and being a boy from a small town, bloody cattle grid here, being a boy from a small town, I just found it all a little bit overwhelming. You know, the traffic and the pace of life there and stuff, and it just wasn't for me. Even though when it comes to looks, Sydney is probably the prettiest city on the face of the planet. Certainly the prettiest city I've ever been to anyway. Anyway, after that little tangent, we'll get back to leaving Alice Springs. And I suppose if you have been watching my videos all along, you have kind of seen where my life is taking me since I left Alice Springs. There was that amazing 7-week trip through the United States that I was fortunate enough to be able to do. And then the plan was to go back to Melbourne, except for a variety of reasons that just did not work out. Getting work was a struggle, and because getting work was a struggle, that meant that renting a house would have been a struggle. And my friend Kate, whom I've lived with for the last year, and I just went, screw this, and we headed north to Townsville. And that, I suppose, brings us here to Charters Towers, far north Queensland. And we're almost at the weir on the Burdekin River now, and I will check back in with yous there. Okay, just at the park entrance now. So let's have a little look, shall we? Beautiful trees and a forest across the way. It's permanent water here. Something I'm oh Jesus, that was some cattle grid. Permanent water is something I'm definitely not used to after 3 years in the desert. Check it out, folks. Oh, we have a sumo. Nice. I'll have to get a pic of that bike. So here we are, kids. The Burdekin River Weir. And you can actually walk right down to the edge of it, unusually for Australia. So that's a proper shot taken on my phone camera. Pretty amazing looking spot, isn't it? So let's go have a closer look. You'll have to excuse the wobbly camera footage. I do not have my gimbal with me, as I, in all my moving lately, appear to have misplaced it. So yeah, that is the Burdekin River, and this weir is the source of Charters Towers drinking water. And yesterday, which was Sunday, there was people like canoeing and jet skiing on it and everything. Looked amazing. Took the dogs here yesterday. It was like bloody Disneyland for them. Not a bad old spot, is it? Cool. So, to finish a very long answer to a fairly simple question, right at this very second, as of the 18th of June 2018, home is a little town in far north Queensland called Charters Towers. Of course, I am actually only working a 3-week contract up here, meaning that next week Townsville will be home again. How long am I going to stay there? God only knows, but I'm sure going to have fun exploring the place. I'll say one thing, my life is never dull, is it? Anyway folks, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, give us an old share. Woo, cows, like right on the road. Outback problems, lads. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all of that really cool stuff. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Good luck.